present misfortunes, that Augustine wrote his great work on the City of God. Of this he himself gives the following account: "It consists of 22 books. In the first 5 he sought to refute those who asserted that temporal prosperity depended on the due payment of worship to the many gods of the Gentiles. In the next 5, those who, admitting that no form of religion could avert the misfortunes which were the lot of humanity, contended that polytheism was necessary to secure happiness in the world to come. In the remaining books he passes from refuting his adversaries to developing the positive side of his faith in God's government of the world. In the first 4 books of this second part he describes the rise of the 2 kingdoms, the kingdom of God and the kingdom of this world. In the next 4, their spread and progress. In the last 4, the purposes which they severally subserve. The heathen, he indignantly observes, far from complaining of Christianity, ought to be grateful to it for the protection which it had given them. When, in the whole history of the pagan world, had it been heard that the victors had spared the vanquished for the sake of the gods of the vanquished? But in the sack of Rome the Christian shrines had been found a safe refuge from the Gothic soldiery. They were not to think that a catastrophe such as the fall of Rome was to be regarded with despair; it was but the passage from the old order to the new, the painful birth of a better age. The same God who had caused the Romans, still pagan, to rise to such a height of empire, could under the yoke of Christ give them a better kingdom. And Orosius, who at Augustine's instigation wrote a sketch of the history of the world with the intention of vindicating the ways of God to man, saw even more clearly than his master that the barbarians were beginning a new era, and that future generations would look back to rude warriors of that day as kings and founders of kingdoms. Salvian saw the manifest judgment of God in the success of the Teutonic tribes. "They increase," he said, "day by day, we decrease; they are lifted up, we are cast down; they flourish, we are withered." And he found a reason for this superiority in the greater social purity of the Goths and Vandals. "What hope," he exclaims, "can there be for a Roman state when the barbarians are more chaste and pure than the Romans? Nay rather, when there is chastity among the barbarians and none among ourselves." Such were some of the thoughts called forth by the fall of heathendom and of the great heathen city which had been enabled for so long a time to rule the nations. Faithful souls saw in the calamities which then fell upon the earth at once the punishment of sin and the hope of better things to come. Chapter 10.